Hey, how's everybody going? It's Grim. So today I want to make a video about Domestic Girlfriend, which is the anime that I just finished, and my general thoughts on it, what the plot is, if you should watch it, all that kind of stuff. Before we do that, you guys should sub to the channel and turn the notifications so you know right when I upload, because I'm going to be uploading a couple more videos this week, probably about Haikyuu and this other valuable anime I found. But I don't know when those are going to come out because Haikyuu is quite a long anime. Not super long or anything, but it is definitely a big boy. So I'm going to watch that this week, and I'll let you know my thoughts on that later. But without further ado, let's just get right into it. So as you might know by the title, Domestic Girlfriend is about, you guessed it, a domestic girlfriend. So this guy, his name is Natsuo. He basically finds this girl at, I believe it's like a meetup kind of thing with his friends. They all just meet each other. They're all new to the class and all that. And basically, he meets this one girl. Her name is Rui. And they go back to, I believe it's her house, and do the naughty, alright? And then after that happens, she just says, let's never talk again. But his dad decides to remarry, and the woman that he decides to remarry to is, you guessed it, the same person, like her mom, the Natsuo stepmom now, like her daughters are the one that he did the naughty with, and then also his teacher who he has a crush on. So yeah, it might seem a little bit weird at first, I'm not gonna lie. It seemed weird to probably everybody that watched it, right? It seemed weird to me, seemed weird to everybody I know that watched it. But just stick around. I mean, it's nothing terrible. Just hold up. Let me explain. So, basically, this just goes on for a couple more episodes. You just kind of go into their relationship and all that. I don't want to elaborate on anything too much because that would take up a lot of time, and I don't want to drag it out and make you guys sit here for a long time. But basically, all you have to know is the whole thing about the teacher and the sister, and there's a relationship feud between the two of them. And the teacher likes this other guy that she breaks up with, and all that kind of stuff that's going on there. But if you guys don't want spoilers, I will definitely give a spoiler warning for that when that comes up. But that's pretty much the plot. That's what you have to know. And so another thing about the story is Natsuo wants to become a writer, right? He really wants to become this recognized writer, I guess. Not in name, but just he wants to make a living by writing. And he joins this club with a literature club, I believe it is. Not DDLC, dude, just like a normal literature club. Yeah, alright. And basically, he finds this other girl, and she has green hair, and she likes him. And he meets this other girl that has orange hair. I don't remember how he meets her, but he meets her some way. And she likes him. So he's got 4 different girls. My guy is pulling, but he's got 4 different girls. How does he have 4 different girls, dude? Explain to me, bro. How does he have 4 different girls? I want one, and you can't give me 4? Really, Natsuo? All you, bro? Why? Anyways, he tries to decide, I guess, between them, and there's a whole, again, feud between all of them, and it's a big oopsie. All right, a big oopsie. A big oopsie happens at the end, and that happens between the teacher and not the other 2 girls, the orange and the green one. They're irrelevant. They don't really matter. But the other, unless they do in the manga, I'm not really sure about the manga. I'm talking about the anime here. I just want to make that clear real quick. No spoilers, manga readers, frick you. But a big oopsie happens between the teacher, the girlfriend, or not the girlfriend, Rui, and Natsuo, and basically, I'm not gonna say what happens until the end because that's spoiler, but a big oopsie happens, and that's where the depression kicks in. All right, that's where the big climax of the story happens. So a couple things I just want to talk about before I get into spoilers is that I like the side characters that I didn't even explain yet. There's this guy that speaks English, or I guess English. It's really broken, but He does like the little word here and there all the time. I thought that was kind of funny. I like when animes do that. It's just a little nice touch to do. And I really like the author guy. I don't remember what his name is, but that one right there. He's really cool. I don't know what his name is, but he's the one that kind of helps Natsuo get his start. And I really liked the side girls I was talking about earlier, the orange and the green one, even though they're not really relevant, they're still really cool. And I like how their relationships just all kind of blend into each other, because everybody in this story is related in one way or another, which, again, plays into the domestic girlfriend title. Wow! So, as you might be able to tell, this is a bit different than a normal romance anime. It's kind of weird. Obviously, the title entails domestic girlfriend. That's not normal. And again, I said stick around for the ride. By the way, the author's a girl. I don't know if you want to know that, but if that helps or anything. But yeah, she's a girl. This is a girl that wrote Domestic Girlfriend. And yeah, so I think that makes the weirdness go down a little. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if that makes it go down at all. But yeah, a girl wrote this, which I think is pretty cool. And the whole weirdness of it, I mean, obviously, if you're not cool with Alabama type stuff, then don't watch it. I mean, don't watch it. But it's not like blood relationships, so you're fine if, I don't know, man. You make your own judgment call on it. But I definitely think that anybody that really likes romance anime should watch it, and especially a conflicting romance anime, because you don't really get these romance anime where the conflicts happen between literally everybody, right? Maybe in a harem where you're like, oh, well, I like this guy, like, I don't know, High School DxD or Monster Musume, stuff like that. I mean, you definitely got your relationship mix-ups there, 100%, dude. But this kind of anime really makes it on a more serious tone, and I've never really seen that before. I haven't seen an anime that goes this in depth to all the different romances and all the different relationships between everybody, and I think that's a really cool thing that this anime did. And I have a lot of good and bad things about this anime. I think the reason why I don't like it personally, like the only reason that it's not a 10, is just because of the entire theme. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna rate it a 9 just because, oh well, Domestic Girlfriend. I'm gonna rate it a 9 because something else. I never judge a book by saying, well, it's like literally judging a book by its cover, just saying, oh, well, it's Domestic Girlfriend. That's weird. I mean, JoJo is literally in my top 10, my guy. I don't mind the weird stuff. But the reason why it's a 9 is it didn't have that moment yet. It didn't have that moment where I was like, bruh. I mean, it had a couple bruh moments, but it didn't have that moment when I was like, bruh. But you know, something like Your Lie in April. I mean, if you know what I'm talking about, I keep referencing that anime because that's the only really sad one I've seen. But that last moment, my guy, that's a bit not sus. What's the word I'm looking for? Let's say it's a bit different. It hits different, bro. That's all I can say. It hits different. But it didn't have that moment for me yet. It had a couple funny moments. I really like how they mixed in comedy into the mix. I'll talk about that in a bit. But it didn't have that moment that sold me on the show that was like, this is the show, dude. Like, with Death Note, I believe, I'm not going to say anything that happens, but I think it's episode 16, so about like halfway through, and then the actual ending. If you've seen the anime, you know what I'm talking about, or read the manga, whatever. So about halfway through, and then at the ending, those are the 2 points that were like, Death Note is this good. It's this good. And all like the references to the past, it's really hard to say anything without spoiling, I guess, but let's just say Light's walking at the end, I guess. At the end of the show, he just starts walking, and I'm not going to say why, but he passes a younger version of himself, which I thought was a really cool thing that they just kind of symbolized of how he's changed and all this. And I think that a lot of other anime do this with foreshadowing or all that, but Domestic Girlfriend didn't have really any, I guess I wouldn't call it foreshadowing, I'd more so call it just a symbolism, maybe. It's in Domestic Girlfriend, they don't really have anything that's like, this is the anime. It's the same thing that I felt when I was watching Dorohedoro, right, where it's like, nothing's happened yet. It's a great world, I love the characters, everything's amazing about Dorohedoro, but there's not that one moment where it's like, I don't know, Kaimen eats 40 people at once, and he starts going crazy with his jackknife, and gets like a 40-player kill streak. I don't know, man, I'm just saying that Domestic Girlfriend hasn't had this big moment yet where it's like, this is the show, right? And I assume there is that moment because Giguk is that obsessed with it. But when I look at Domestic Girlfriend, I'm not gonna give it a 10 out of 10 just because it's a really good world building one, right? I gave Dorohedoro, I believe, a 9. And I think it deserves that because it's just world building at this point. There's nothing big with that, right? And I think Domestic Girlfriend hits on the same level as Dorohedoro with that standpoint. Now, another thing I want to talk about real quick is the comedy. I thought Domestic Girlfriend was a pretty funny one, right? Epic, funny. As you see with can I show that scene? I don't think I can show the scene that I'm thinking about on YouTube, but in episode 10 or 11, I can't even describe it, man. But let's just say it was a big funny moment. Just go watch the show if you want to see that big funny moment. It was really funny. I mean, I thought, but that kind of comedy tailors to a specific audience, I guess. Not really. I think it's kind of comedy for everybody. But that was definitely a big funny, man. That was a big funny. I thought that was funnier than the entirety of One Punch Man. I laughed more in that moment than I did in One Punch Man. No, that might not be true. But yeah, going on to some spoiler stuff. So click off right now because the rest of the video is probably going to be spoilers. I just want to talk a little bit about more of a serious note. What kind of made this anime stick out to me with spoilers and with the ending and all of that. So the first thing is that when well, I'm gonna give you a couple seconds, right? I'm just gonna keep talking, but yeah. So just click off. Come on, if you haven't seen it, click off. Go watch it right now. It's on like Hulu, I think, maybe. I don't know. It's on Crunchyroll. Go watch it. All right. I'm assuming if you're still here that you're okay with the spoilers or you've seen it or whatever. But at the end of Domestic Girlfriend, when I believe it was Hina's her name. That's the teacher, and so Natsuo and Hina, as you know, have a relationship, and they have this relationship that's like that gets found out by the school, right? And to see everything that Hina does for Natsuo and how she gives up herself and her entire life basically just because just for Natsuo's dream to become an author, which I thought was something really cool. And obviously she probably comes back. I'm gonna assume that she comes back because there's still like there's like 28 volumes of the manga, and we're only on season 1, which I believe is only through like volume 5 or something. So there's definitely a lot more to be discovered about Hina and Natsuo and everybody's relationship, and go a little more in depth into everything. And I think that Natsuo's dream would only become true because of Hina, but all these other characters around him are just saying like, man, she did this for you. Don't keep pouting and laying in bed for a week straight, being a little retard, being a Maru-chan, right? Don't keep doing that. Go out and become an author, right? And then he writes this book, and he pretty much wins the equivalent of I believe it's a Nobel Peace Prize. Nah, that's something different. I don't know what author awards are, man. I don't know what you would call those, but he won one of those, right? He won like the biggest one that he knew of, I guess. The biggest, like, not something like Game of the Year where it's like, oh, well, that's a big recognition, but more something like, I don't know, IGN gives you a 10 out of 10. I'm kidding. That's probably an insult, if anything. But if we're talking about awards here, it's probably equivalent to something under a Grammy. I don't know, for music. But he wins this big award, and he gives a speech, and he just kind of reflects on their relationship. And I thought that was a really cool nod to Hina that they made. The whole ending was a really good way to wrap it up for now. Obviously, there's so many loose ends. We got to keep getting seasons. If it doesn't get animated, I'm just gonna read the manga. But there's no physical manga either, so that really makes me mad. But yeah, let's spread the word. Get a physical Domestic Girlfriend manga, my guy. I'm really hype. I'd buy that. I'd read it. But yeah, overall, Domestic Girlfriend, I'd give it like a 9 out of 10, man. That was a good anime. And I don't know, I think if you like romance animes, go ahead and watch it. If you're more of a shonen guy, it's definitely not your thing. I don't care if it's published in shonen. Do not read it. You're gonna say it's weird. But obviously, I'm a shonen guy. I liked it. JoJo's my favorite anime. Clearly, I like shonen, and One Piece is like up there too. I got a lot of shonen favorite animes. Death Note. So if you guys wanna go read it or watch it. Either one. I'm currently reading it right now. The art's really good so far to where I am. And for that to be in the first volume, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, definitely go support the author. Go buy it off of, I think they sell it on Bookwalker. Go buy it off there. Go buy it off Amazon if they have it. I think it's on Kindle. Go support the authors, right? So we can get a physical release of Domestic Girlfriend. So thanks guys for watching this far. If you made it this far, in the comments, just say something like Ryuk, or I don't know, Shinigami eat apple, something that's related to Death Note. Say it in the comments below, and I'll know that you made it this far, because I can look at the analytics, but I want to know who made it this far, my guy. I want to know everybody that made it this far in the video. I don't know, man. I want to see if you guys are really engaged with my videos, and if you're not, then there's a problem, and I need to fix it. So let's fix this problem, if there is one, and I'll see you in the next one, I guess, which will probably be Haikyuu. I said that last video, but it might be Haikyuu next time. Depends how fast I want to watch it. I'm on episode like what, 15? So I'll see you guys for the next video, Haikyuu or JoJo or Ninjago, my guy. I don't know what I'm gonna make a video on. I'll binge all of Adventure Time, make a video on that. I don't know. Just tell me what you guys want to see in the comments below. Tell me if there's a manga or anime that you want to see. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.